Tonight is February the 2nd, 2013. I'm going to quickly document a very well performing McIntosh MC 2205 power amp. Got a broken front panel. Plan on getting another one from McIntosh from. They still make replacement parts for these. But right now we're just documenting the performance of it. It's very clean, very excellent shape. Driving both channels at once. I got it in, it's got two positions here. You can read that. It's got a 2.5 volt and a 3/4 volt input. It's in stereo. I got power guard off. I don't want it limiting. I got up to 8 ohms. The output and connections are 1, 2, 4, and 8 ohms. And they are hooked up to these 1% low inductance 8 ohm resistors up here. This is the left channel, that's the right channel. Ouch, that thing's hot already. I've been fiddling with it for a few minutes. There's our test frequency right now at 1 kilohertz. There's our output, so it's doing 400 or 200 watts right now. 40 volts squared. 40 squared is 1600 divided by 8 is 200 volts right there. Our input voltage is 119 driving it. There's our distortion, 0.03% at 200 watts. That is the right channel. Let's go to the left channel. And it's same amount of power, 0.01, about 0.02% if you round that. That's what it looks like. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely stunning amplifier. This thing's put out enormous amounts of power. There it is over another one. Let's lower it slightly and go to, say, 20 hertz. We'll test it down at the low end. Times 10. Give everything just a second to catch up. There's 20 hertz. And then we'll start running it back up right here. This is the drive going in. If you follow this wire down, it's right here. That's what we're driving the two channels with at the same time. And we'll run it back up to 40 volts over here. Should be 200 watts. There we go. Just a hair over 200 watts, and there's what it looks like. I see a tiny little anomaly coming here and there. And that's what's caused this thing to bounce around between very low. So we're driving it right at its very edge. If we back it off just a hair, I've done this enough that I understand these things. See how it settles down there? Well, not entirely. Not completely and entirely. Let's back it down just a little bit more. There it goes. And there it seems to settle down. Just under 238.5 squared. And then we can see here that we don't see any of the little anomalies at the tops and the bottom. And same thing over here. Looks really good. That's at 20 hertz. That is the left channel. There's the right channel. Same thing. Looks like both channels are very well balanced at 20 hertz. Now let's go to 20 kilohertz. Everything just a second to and raise our frequency ever so slightly. I'm going to try to run this one up to 40 volts. There it is. 40 volts at about 0.5%. And here's what it looks like at 20 kilohertz at 200 watts. Looks good. There's our 20 kilohertz. There's our 40 volts across 8 ohms, and there's our distortion, THD. And there's what she looks like now. This is the right channel. Let's go to the left channel. Okay, let's go back here and start here. Looks like that one's got a little bit more distortion in it at 20 kilohertz. Up at better 1.5% or so. Let's see if we can see anything. Yeah, I think I see some tiny little wrinkle right there at the very top. There's something right there. Oh yeah, right there too. So it has some very slight anomaly up there at 20 kilohertz at 200 watts. But actually it's doing quite well. If we back it off a little bit, just a little bit, everything settles down nicely. Now we got 0.08% at the 38 volts. Left channel, right channel, 38 volts, 0.03%. Yeah, doing great. Doing very well. I just like to document these as they come through. I don't get the opportunity to see any particular amplifier all the time, and it's nice just to see how they perform. Very nice and clean. This one's got the little panel lock missing off of this side. It's on over here. That's it right there. That's these little push buttons right here. Lock it into the panel. Lock it into the panel. And I'll show you one other nice thing about them. When you put them in guard, it won't let it clip. And if you try to overdrive it, I'm going to intentionally overdrive it slightly. Watch what'll happen. There'll be some red lights come on right there. There's little red lights coming on. It won't let it. You can't drive it any harder, and that's what it looks like. Still looks great. I can see the ever so slightest of wrinkles. This is at 20 kilohertz, 200 watts, at 0.8%. That's great, huh? And if you back it down just a little bit, the lights go out. This bulb right in here is burned out. I can see that normal is lit here, but this bulb is not working. And just for the last fun of it, let me show you something. Show you how much power this thing puts out. Look at the temperature of that resistor. I get the glare off of it. That's the left channel up to 330 degrees. Right channel 370 degrees. Now this thing right here is hot. I think it's boiling. Boil water with it. Okay. Last thing I'll show you. I gotta move things around. I'll show you what this thing weighs. Okay, I moved it off of my little turntable here, which I built to set it up on some scales. Look what this thing weighs. 78 pounds. Yeah, this thing's a monster. So before you buy or move around or sell one of these things, keep that in mind. This thing's a real backbreaker. I love it though.